Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing? Boy, what a busy morning. All right, let me get out of this and over here to whoever's here. Hold on, let me get a sip of coffee. Had time to make coffee. I'm not getting, for some reason, my phone's not working, so don't know what that's about. Won't let me. All right, I don't need YouTube anyway. Hello, everyone. That's here. Hey, Lewis, what's up, Rob? Are you still here? I know it's late for you. Just got off work, all showered, ready to dream of Thailand. No shit, right? Sorry guys. Hey, what's up, Jim? Is it both you, Jim, and you, Meow? Maui, how you doing? Gorgeous, how you doing? Tip, how you doing? I think that's all it's here. It says 6 people. Anyway, so I'll give a couple of people some time to get in, and then I'll kind of a couple of interesting things. I'm stuck here in Thailand for till they kick me out. Now for another year, but it went okay. It was kind of weird. Anyway, I wanted to give everybody kind of a heads up. In fact, if Chuck's watching or if he watches, I got a question for him, and it's about I renewed my my visa yesterday, and they asked me a weird question. Well, it wasn't a weird question. Thank God my wife saved it, but they said, we need your old passport. I said, why would you need? I didn't say anything. My wife went in and started all this stuff because we thought we were going to have to drive to the old immigration, the one that's an hour away and an hour back. And I said, no, they said they don't do it here anymore. And I said, well, why don't we stop and see? Well, she went in to see because my leg's been bothering me anyway. And she was in there for like 45 minutes. So we did it there. But they said, we need to talk to because I had it done at the other place. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year I had to go to the old immigration because I procrastinated. Imagine that. And I needed the guy that signs it wasn't at this one. But my wife said, no, they said they just don't do it now. I said, no, I don't remember that. So again, I thought I had Alzheimer's or something. But no, sure enough, they can do it there. But she said, I need the old one. I said that it's got holes punched in it. I've already used it to leave Thailand and come back when my mom passed away. So you've let me in and out of Thailand on this visa. It's in my new passport. I'm thinking in my mind. Of course, I'm not saying anything to immigration. A couple of weird questions. It was the first time that I had put 800,000 in a bank account. Why did you take money in and out of this account? And I go, what do you mean why? I stayed above 800. It never went below 800. So they were nice enough. Don't get me wrong. And they did it quickly. We got there. They said, go to the bank and get the letter, which we knew we were going to have to do. We were going to get it at the bank across from the other immigration. And hey Gary, how you doing? Yeah, I bet you do. Everybody, thank God I'm here. I tell you what, man, the United States. Well, we can get into that another time. Um, so we went, we got that. We went home and looked for it because I said, I remember I was going to throw it away, and you said no. I'll save it. It has your picture, blah blah blah. I said, do whatever you want with it. Well, thank God she kept it. And when I went to when we went back, we ate, we went to the bank, um, and we went back, and it only took maybe about an hour after we got back. So the whole time, maybe 2 hours total. Hour before lunch and an hour after lunch, and not that many people. There was a few people there in the morning, in the afternoon, maybe only two or three other Farang. One French guy that was having an awful time. But anyway, they liked me. They didn't ask me for any money, so I gave them 500 baht for 700 baht. I told them buy some pizza on me tomorrow, and they were all happy and ecstatic over that. Um, I just don't like getting asked for it, but I don't mind giving it. I just don't. I don't like being, feeling like I'm being held for ransom or something. So yeah, so if I didn't, I told my wife, well, what did they say if I can't find this thing? I said, I'm a normal person. If my old passport's got holes punched in it, it's no good. It goes in the trash with me, you know. And she said, well, I said, well, it would have been nice to know. Do I have to leave the country? What do they want me to do? You know. And as it turned out, I didn't have to do that. And before I left, I asked them again. I said, do I need this old passport next year also? And they said, no, just this time. I said, okay. So if you get a new passport, keep your old passport, Um, and I don't know if it was because they wanted to see because what I did was I got my visa on the last page of my old passport and then turned my passport in, and then they punched holes in it, sent me my new passport back. I took my old passport and my new passport back to immigration, and they transferred for free from the old one to the new one my visa, and I used that to leave in whatever it was in March um, of last year to go to my mom's celebration of life. I like to say that. Sounds better, right? Um, so yeah, so if you guys get a new passport, make sure you save it at least for the first year. Uh, so I kept my old passport. I had to go by and look at the dates because Job wanted to know where I'd been 10 years ago. Yeah, I'm sure that this one and my wife now, they probably would save the stuff forever. My wife told me, Nitnoy told me, oh no, we save everything. I said okay. Um, yeah, interesting, right? And I could have swore the reason I wanted to see if Chuck was, sometimes he lurks, but anyway, I'll send him a message because I know he got a new passport recently within the last year or two. I'm wondering if when he went in, they asked him for his old one. As you know, everything's different from immigration to immigration here in Thailand. Hey, Ralph, Maui saying hi to Gary, and yeah. So and then this morning, like I said, I asked her if she wanted me to take her to had to bring the electric hot rod in. The brakes were making noise, and they're doing it under a warranty. When she'd back up, they'd make a squeaking sound, and I said, "That's bullshit." Tell them to take it back. So I said I would do it. Well, obviously, I think the person that was going to actually go over there and pick her up this morning didn't come in today. So she asked me when I went in. I usually go in right before she leaves to work just to say, "Have a great day," type thing. And can you drive me? I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Hey, Mark, how you doing, brother? Hope you are well. I all lurking in the background while it's pretending to work. That's Damn, I'm getting old back. Not by. Okay. Um, yeah. So anyway, if you've got it, I imagine, like I said, I'm sure that this one and any significant other I've had in my life probably would save the things, but um, at least my wife here, she knew, and she took off the day, which was awesome. But like I say, otherwise it was pretty uneventful after we found the passport and had a decent lunch because I was fricking starving. And when I'm hungry, I'm not a I'm not a good hungry person. I don't know how to explain that. When I'm hungry, I can be cranky. And yeah, so after that, it was bang bang. Went in there and sat down, took she had all the paperwork and the pictures. I think I should do some new pictures. I think they're only supposed to be 6 months old. I've had these for 3 years. I think now I've been using them. They didn't say anything. They were pretty good about it. There was 5 people in there. When I got there, when I went back, because she, like I said in the morning, she went in and did a lot of this footwork for 45 minutes an hour, and then came back, and then we went to the mall, went to the bank, got the letter from the bank, and had another bank transaction to make at the Pink Bank. I don't know if you guys know about that, but you go in and you put in so much money and it's like a lottery type thing. Instead of getting an interest rate, my wife, she loves, I guess she likes to gamble. I don't know. Um, they give you for each, 100,000 or whatever you have in the bank, they give you so many numbers, and then they do a draw once a month, and you could win anywhere from, I guess 10 baht up to 30 million or something. So I don't know exactly how that works, but I'll let you know. So we went and did that transaction. Then we went and ate. And then we went back home, got the passport, went back there. And like I said, it was about an hour, maybe an hour and a half after we got there and walked out with my new passport, with my new visa and new passport. So let's see. So yeah. So other than that, then no one showed up. All of a sudden, my guys that are doing my axle and the 125 went on tie time, and and they are pretty good. They do call and tell my wife I'm not going to make it today. They were supposed to be here on, let's see, the solar man to finish the rack with the winch and all that on it. Was supposed to be here on Monday. Then he was supposed to be here on Wednesday, and he's going to be here on Saturday, tomorrow. Um, the guy that's doing the axle is waiting for. Hey, Rob, thank you, brother. My wife will be very appreciative. She's always appreciative of all everything you guys do. Um, and he's still having. They're having the axles here. The leaf springs are here. The shocks are here, I think, and so are the hubs and the brakes and everything. So he was supposed to be here yesterday. The kids had some. He's got 3 of his students helping him, and they had to take some tests and stuff. So he said we won't be there till after 3. Well, they I didn't think they were going to make it, so I'm hoping they're going to make it. I'm going to check my phone and keep my camera out there, so this won't be a long one if he shows up, because I want to get I'd like to get the finishing deals on that video that I've got sitting here in the phone, and put that out. And I got to finish my other second part of the God knows how many part what happened to me in the 5.5 years I've been here. Um, I'm going to put out tomorrow, I think. Thanks again, Rob. You're the man. Andrew, how are you doing? Good morning to you. Hey, James. But yeah, so hopefully there's a very good possibility that it could be done today. And then I want to take it on a short jaunt, maybe not all the way to Uncle Craig's, but a short jaunt for maybe 1 or 2 days. They're an hour away from here, and maybe I'll go to the other one. My wife said that the lady that we went camping with, where I did the New Year's camping with the family. She said there's one in Sisaket, that is okay, and it's the kids want to go camping there. So maybe what I'll do is Sisaket's only maybe an hour and a half, something like that. I think maybe I'll find out. Maybe I'll go there for a couple of days. That way I'll already know. And then when they come, because they're coming on the 2nd of March, which is my daughter's birthday back in the States. So happy birthday if you're watching, Whitney. And um, love you, by the way. They want to go camping. They're off the whole month of March into April, I think. Um, yeah, and then I'm starting to clean up this room. Although I didn't see that one question. I have to go back and look. The one that I told you, the guy asked me if I'm a hoarder, and no, I'm not. But I didn't do that. I answered quite a few of them this morning. If I ever miss at this point, and probably for the rest of this channel life, I don't think the channel's ever going to get over maybe 3,000, maybe. And at that point, I'll still be able to answer everybody with at least a thank you and, appreciate all the support, that type of stuff. I appreciate you guys commenting, by the way. Like I said, the main reason is I'd like to there was a couple of deals in there where people, if you got to go back and read the comments because it's quite interesting. One gentleman had been, he's with his third Thai lady. He'd been with one for 30 years, I think, and then another one for 11 or something. I can't remember. But if you go back in the comments and look at it, and lost both of them, sadly enough, to that C stuff, the second one, anyone. I can't remember on the first one. And now he's with another Thai lady here. So that's the people I want to reach, stories like that, and people understanding that, they could have a life here and a pretty damn good one, Race car looks a little dusty. Which one? What did I miss? I don't even know if Rob's talking to me. But anyway, so that's the whole gist. I'd like to get out and do that. I want to finish I've got it all written down. I haven't recorded it, the second part of it. And I'm not keeping, did anybody, the people that watched it, is 15 minutes too long or what? This is only going to just make the series longer. Because I could sit there. The first one, it seemed like it went by like that. And I looked at it and it was 15 minutes long. So, the video racer behind you. This one. Yeah, it is. I haven't used it in a while. I got it. They've been okay. Let's see what I've got up and down right now. My wife talked to the big boss, who's like the second in command. I mean, the big honcho. He's the guy I've been to dinner with a couple of times. And my internet connection has been stellar ever since she did it. Watching right now, I'm watching, and the download is 948.4. And the upload, we'll go here in a second, is about, looks like it's going to be maybe 180, something like that, maybe 200. So I've got no complaints on the on my internet now, and the internet really needs to be good for me to dust that off and race. But I enjoy it. I like doing it, and I've got the VR deal, which is awesome compared to just watching the television screen. But yeah, so I'd like to get it done. So a lot of this stuff is going in the trash, and a lot of this stuff is going into the trailer because I had to move everything out of the house, and now I have in my man cave everything for my koi, and a lot of it is in this cabinet that you can't see right here. And then in these cabinets over here is a lot of the motorcycle stuff. There's light kits and stuff that I want to put on some of them, and all different kinds of stuff. And then, of course, all my stuff for doing this. So I didn't ask. This thing okay? Sounds in my ear, it sounds okay, but I can never tell. It always seems like it's not quite close enough. I always think like there sounds better in my ear. And then I watched your deal, your guys this morning, Meow and Jim. You guys were still at Chuck's. I think he's about 3 days behind, I think. But I'm sure you had a good time. Just good people there. It's hard not to have a good time when you're with that caliber of people, and both him and Paige and Joe and Gift and James and all those people, Mitch, all just top, just good people, man. Lucky. And like I say, you can say what you want to about YouTube, and it doesn't matter to me whether I'm talking to 10 people. People come back and watch the video, which is cool. But I wouldn't know anybody. I would have never met Mitch. I would have never met probably anybody, Chuck or Joe or anybody. So I consider myself lucky to have um, the friends that I've met on YouTube. And I think you guys were talking about. You're going to build in Udon, I think. But are you going to go back to the States and do a camping van life deal? Did I hear that mentioned somewhere? If you're still here, you might be gone. I have no way to check. Not on YouTube. And I don't know why this isn't working. All right, I'm gonna have to check it again because that something's weird. Oh, there I am. Okay. All right. Let's see. There we go. Okay. So I think you said something about van life. I didn't know you guys were into that stuff, which I think is awesome. If you guys don't know, they are. We're planning to go back at the end of the year. Did I hear you guys mention about van life or something? Or I'm old and hear shit once in a while, which could be, which would be awesome. I mean, I watched James' video this morning, and I've watched that kind of not so much van life, but just solo camping, solo motor camping, uh, um, catch and cook videos and that kind of stuff. I've been watching for a long time. Steve Walls, and I think that's the way you say his name. Anyway, um, interesting stuff. It looks like a hell of a lot of fun. In fact, I might have done something like that if I didn't end up coming to Thailand. But now I've got my trailer, so I can kind of do it. But I would never. I mean, James looks happier than hell. I know he's, as far as I know, he's been wanting to do this for a long time, and it looks like he's enjoying the hell out of it. So that's always good. You guys planning on staying gone for a while, or you're gonna just visit, or you might do a van thing? And of course, I'll do my disclaimer. Anytime I ask anybody on this channel, you don't have to answer me. Um, hey, George, how you doing? Morning to you. You don't ever have to answer me. I totally understand. It's because I'm curious and I want to know, but don't ever feel obligated on this channel to have to reply at all. I got to go back to it, and I don't know when. I, I wanted to take Nitnoy, so I'm trying to plan it and see. She's never seen snow and stuff, so I might take a short trip back, maybe July, something like that, and then maybe I'll plan something towards the end of the year where we could get up to some snow. I will be in Pattaya area 14th March to 19th March. A little retreat for my 16th March birthday. When are we going to be there for that meetup? The 13th? I think the 13th. Let me look. We can go over that quickly. I still haven't got that taco house. I got to let them know. Yeah, 13th, 14th, and 15th. Gorgeous. I'll be there for the 13th, 14th, 15th, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and leaving on Sunday. And my wife might come up Thursday night and Friday morning. But that meetup's on the 13th, but people are probably going to be hanging out, and we'll probably end up going to lunch or dinner or something on the 14th or 15th if people are still around. So awesome. Happy birthday. So I'll leave this out because that's got my what do I call it? Is it synopsis? Is that what I write here on what I'm gonna? I don't know. Anyway, it don't matter. We are proud to travel for 1 or 2 years in the U.S. Cool. As van lifers or in a motorhome or just travel from hotel to hotel. Because I think that I heard. I think I heard you say that you were going to do some kind of. I thought I did van life. No problem. Yeah. Well, maybe if not, we can maybe meet up, have lunch or something. Uh, uh, well, yeah, yeah. The meetup's on the 13th, like I said, at between 6 and 6:30 at that taco house. I think it's in Patea. And then there's probably going to be Mitchell come and Ryan's going to come with 2 or 3 people, but they're not going to stay in the hotel. But they're probably going to be 8 or 10 or 12 or 15 people that are staying in the hotel, and we'll probably meet up for. Well, I know we'll meet up for breakfast probably. The breakfast is included there, and then maybe we'll set up something and meet up that dinner again. I don't know. Don't matter to me. The more times that I can meet everybody, the better, as far as I'm concerned. But it should be a good time. Hey, Joe, how are you, brother? Hope you are well. But yeah, so that, in fact, let me get off of this and let me go up to my front camera. I'd rather look at that than look at YouTube and see. And the cameras, I told you guys, the cameras in the ones that we put in Ubon, which are all on the same app, are way better cameras than the cameras that we put in here. As far as the megapixels, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's awesome. I was looking at the lake last night. Yeah, I think it's getting better. I'm still on antibiotics, so it kind of raised up in a spot where I guess the infection was located. So I'm imagining that was abscessy or something like that. But it seems to be going down, and the pain isn't as bad. It hurts more when I'm sitting here than anything else. Okay, I can put this in front of me, and then if he drives up, then I'll know I'm done. Um, uh, but otherwise, I think okay. When I sit, it swells up, so I'm better off with it up in the air. So I'm not planning on doing a bunch today. I kind of wanted to get the uh, the Shadow, the 750 Hondo, back over to the guy. I want him to put a USB deal up in the front so I can run my navigation and my phone charging, and I want him to get rid of that that backfire, um, and do something with that pilot. But I got to get a hold of him. But I got a few days. I'm going to relax. I'm not gonna push anything. I don't think I have to go pick up my wife. I think she'll get somebody from work to go get her or to take her back to Nissan. But I told her I'd be around if she wanted me to. I could run up and grab her at work and take her over to Nissan. And they've been great. If you guys, Nissan's been on top of everything. Every time they've taken it in for service and everything, they've washed the car. Gave the car back in just awesome condition. And yeah, for anything that they've had to do that's been a warranty item, they've never tried to. Oh well, no, you have to pay nothing. They never pushed or nothing. They just have taken care of it, and only a couple of items. This brake being one of them. I can't remember the other one. I think it was with the radio. There was a little glitch or something. But the they're great. I like Nissan. I'm just saying, how long? Okay, it was because of that I don't know, were you here when I was talking about they wanted my old passport, the one that they punched holes in and I would have thrown away, when I got it. They wanted to see that. So we were there about an hour before lunch and she was in there. I was in the car with the air conditioner on because she was just going to run in. She thought we had to go to the old immigration. I said, no, bullshit. No, they said they don't do it here last time. I said, no. Because let's at least go check because we're saving 2 hours of driving. So we stopped. She went in and then didn't come out for an hour. Went over all the paperwork. They wanted that. They wanted the letter from the bank saying that that money is in there today. And we had everything else. There was one and that and the let's see, the visa, the old passport, the letter from the bank, and there was something else, some little stupid thing. And we went back after lunch. We got there about 2 o'clock, and we were out of there at 3:15. So 2.5 hours in total from start to finish. Went very. Besides that, it went very smoothly as far as I was concerned, and that's at our local one. But yeah, no problems. My wife's got everything in the deal, and now I asked them about that in case anybody's wondering. I asked them about when you get another, when you get a new passport. So remember to hold on to your old passport until you go through your getting your visa the next time, your retirement visa or probably any visa. But make sure you hold on to it, and then you can do. Because I asked them, I said, "Do I need this every time?" And they said, "No, this is it." I said, "Okay, cool." You mind me asking how old? I'm 67. I was just 67 in December. So, yeah, I'm old. I think I'm old. There's people like Bobby who are really old, old, old. I think Bobby's 70 or something. Um, Brock, I think, is 72, 70 or 72. Um, and then Andrew, who I hate, he's 67 and looks like he's 50. So I don't hang out with Andrew anymore. I just kidding. Andrew's a great guy. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a young pup. I know. That's right. You are too. What are you, 70, Ron? Or are you can't remember. I don't remember the ages. Most of the people that I know that watch this channel are there's a few between the 40 and 50 deal, but most of them are between right around 60 to 70. Not old. Thanks to. But and when are you going to Patea? Because you said you were going to be there anyway, right? You must be going pretty soon. 47. Yeah, I like 47. Sounds better than 70. And Ron looks way better than I do too. So I won't hang out with him anymore either. 60 here and he looks 27. Perfect. I feel like a kid. That's 63. That is, I think. I think that's for the most part. I'm going to say what most of the people between what 55 and 65, 70. A few over 70, but say for the majority, I'm going to say between 60 and 70. Um, I still, besides my, being a fat bastard, which I need to do something about, and the body, just not starting to get run down, which I don't know. I never really thought that. I never thought about that. Sooner or later, you're going to be aches and pains that in places that you never thought that you would have aches and pains in shoulders and stuff. It's just starting to happen. That's all. There's a youngster. Lourdes is 59 next month, so you're 58. Um, yeah, up until maybe 60, it really started to, for me anyway, it really started to age me, and now ever since getting sick didn't help, that 3 months. And like I said, I still don't think I'm 100% recovered from that anyway, as far as strength and everything, just not there. But it took a toll on me that 3 months I spent in the hospital for sure. She tells me 47. Perfect. That a girl, Rolla. And you guys are all coming. I imagine you guys travel as a family. Ron and his wife are top notch parents and stuff, and have raised a awesome young lady for sure. Yeah, and I have problems in this one shoulder too, and I think I think I hurt this. I think it's rotator cuff. I'll have to ask Craig. I just watched his. I think it was his last video. I miss every once in a while. Um, I think it was from the way they had me. They did a kind of damage to me in the hospital by laying me in certain positions for a long period of time when they had me drugged up and kind of in a induced coma, and the freaking blood pressure deal that they had on my arm affected my arms. The the cuffs they have are like this big for a large size Thai man, and my arms are like this, So they barely fit, and they stretch them and put them on there. I remember like I said, they woke me up maybe I was in it almost 2 months, and about the last 3 weeks, I remember sort of. The rest of it was like a nightmarish dream from all the drugs they had me on. I very vivid, weird ass dreams. Um, but I don't know. I don't know where he is, Louis. I think he said, he sent me something saying he was going to be lurking. Yeah, I think he had something to do. Now that I remember, I think it came up on my deal in the truck when I was driving because I had the phone hooked up to the truck. I'd go back and try to look, but I think he did say something. He had the part I caught was "I'll be lurking," and so he's always around. Look, I'd like to meet him too. Hopefully, one day he'll be able to come here and we'll all get together in a meetup because I'd like to do those meetups at least maybe a couple of times a year. I don't need to do anything every month or anything, but a couple of times a year to try to catch people like Brock. Although when Brock comes here, he just does everything with the family. I don't think he ever like leaves the nest up there. Not that I can remember. At least the last 2 or 3 times he's been here, which is good. I mean, it's what he should be doing, spending time with the family. But I'd like to meet, and if I have to, if I fly into the States and I have enough time, I'd fly over to Texas to meet Tommy for sure. Um, Resting my eyes during lunch, but I'm still listening. All right, Rev. And Mark's a youngster too, 58 yesterday. So happy birthday, brother Mark. Um, yeah, definitely. I mean, you'll be over at the meetup, right? And if not, I'm going to be there for the 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, and I think I leave on the 17th. So I'm going to be there for 4 or 5 days. So definitely for sure. For sure. Let's see. I think I'm going to text my wife soon and say, have them get over there. It's 9:30 a.m. He has to go to school and everything. It's usually 9:30 or 10 anyway. Anyone else? What did you miss? What did you miss, Ron? All right. That right ankle's being a pain in the ass. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. I got to finish the part 2. And like I said, I've got this is I told you I did this in 5 minutes after the first one and came up with 10, 10 parts, and that only brings me through being sick, which was 4 years ago. So and if it bores the crap out of you guys, by all means, I mean, I appreciate it. I think it's gotten like, I can go look, I think it's gotten like what was it, almost 300 or something, 280 something. Let me go. I think. Let me go. So thank you guys very much for watching it. Where is it at? Oh, come on, I can't find it. I'm so horrible with knowing how to maneuver through YouTube Studio. I'm not very good at it. Oh, where is it? Content. 270 views, which is awesome. So I really appreciate it. You guys are cool, and hopefully there's some people that are gonna see 4 or 5 of them and say, yeah, okay, I'm gonna send Dave an email and tell him my situation or whatever. And anything that anybody's watching, by all means, if you need any kind of answer that I can give you, and you don't want to come on in the chat when I do the live streams and stuff, send me something. Just give me a few days because I'm not very good at answering my emails. I only look at it maybe every 2 days or something, 3 days. I should look at it more often, or I should talk to my wife and ask her how do I turn on my notifications so I get notified, which would probably be an easier thing to do. But the uh, I don't know. So hopefully it goes that way. So if you are watching, watch a couple more of them. If anything, rings in your head, yeah, man, maybe I could, do something. I'm not too old. I'm only 65 and, lost my wife and, going to sit here until time for me to stop breathing. Maybe I can go do something. By all means, like I said, if you don't want to come in the chat, I totally understand. Just send me an email saying I'd like to rap or whatever, and we'll figure out something or a question, and then I can answer it. And I'd never give anybody's name or anything out that don't want their name out. But if it's something like that, it'd probably be easier if you asked me a question for me to, instead of try to type, because I'm not very good. I just bring the question up because maybe there's somebody else wanting to know the same question. I mean, that's what I think the channel's evolving into. It's never going to be one of these, maybe even 4,000 subscribers, which is, like I said, which is fine. But the ones that we get, if we get it and we get it out there, and you know, uh, some people can come here and we get them to Thailand, and they say, yeah, this, I could do this. That would be awesome. Because, like I said, I never thought it could happen to me. How about line? Yeah, I have a line thing. I just don't know how to do it. I can't be there too long. Have to come back. Take care of cat and dog. Okay. Um, let's see. Double nickels here. 55 in April. Planning to have my birthday with a couple of friends in Bangkok, but passport issues have delayed the trip. I know how that goes. I had those. I had those myself. 'Cause I didn't get a passport until 2015, beginning of 2015, before I went to Costa Rica. I won't go into details. No reason to. Uh, but uh, um, but it is nice, and I was like really excited. Look, I got a passport. Holy shit! I can go anywhere I want, pretty much. That's not completely true, um, but yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I know you have issues too, and I know a lot of people. We've talked about it on here before about because like I said, it never even came into my mind until I started doing YouTube and we started doing live streams and talking about retiring here, about taking care of your parents. I mean, it never even rang a bell in my head. The major issues that I thought back in the day was, leaving your grandkids or your kids or whatever. But mom and dad, I think, play more of it into it, between what Bobby had to go through and what Jake's going through now, and everybody, a lot of people experience. Mitch went through it too. It's a tough ordeal. And like I said, I luckily when I came in 2018 after this one passed away, my mom was in good shape. Did it toll on my brother after that? Yeah. Was he a Actually, I could bitch and moan about him, if I wanted to, but he did an awesome job. He took care of business. But when I left, she was okay. So she didn't really start getting bad until right about the time right before COVID hit. So a couple of years after that. So I need 2 weeks in Bangkok away from my parents. Yeah, it. Hey Nanette, how are you? If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Hope you're well. Yeah, I think everybody needs a couple. I'm not a big Bangkok guy. It's like Hell, if I wanted to spend time, I could have just, from my house, I could drive 45 minutes into downtown LA and hang out. It isn't, although I haven't, I shouldn't say that because I've said it before that I don't particularly care for Bangkok. But I've never had anybody that actually lives in Bangkok show me around Bangkok. So I don't know. And for me to get out and stumble around there and, it's not like you can hop on a bike and ride around because it's a nightmare. So unless, as far as I'm concerned, unless you're with somebody that knows Bangkok, lives in Bangkok, or is a local or whatever, uh, then I would go and I would at least see it and then say at the end of it, no, man, Bangkok's all right. Or everything that I thought was exactly right. I don't want anything to do with Bangkok. But until I go there and actually go with somebody that's there, when we go there, we go to the kids' school and maybe back to one hotel, and then we're out of Bangkok and back home. My wife wants to go pick them up on the 2nd too. So she just informed me of that because Shishu, the youngest one, who's now 18, not so much young anymore, and has a recital deal that we're not going to be able to make. And so my wife said, how about we make up? She wanted to make up somehow for it. So she said, we can come get you. So I guess we're going to go get them. But yeah. So like I was saying, so that's basically the gist of it. I'm looking. I still don't see the Axle Man. I like everything that they've done so far. I like the leaf strings they made. I like the axle that they made is freaking awesome. Everything they've done so far that I've seen that they've fabricated and now have mounted some of it on the trailer is good. And like I said, I'm going to probably get, I'm going to say 8 inches or so. So I bought, like I said, I bought that drop down or go up hitch that's got maybe five different positions. So that should work out. So I'm hoping by the end of tomorrow, the rack will be in, everything will be wired, the axle will be on, and I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to schedule. After I get out today, I'm probably going to elevate my foot for a little while until I see them coming. Then I'll do a little bit of filming out there and come back in and relax, and I'll probably check into this campground in Sisaket and see what what it's all about, and if it whatever it is, it's probably going to be fine. It's an hour and a half away. That's a good little jaunt for me to pull it there and check all the nuts, bolts, and carter pins, and visual look at the trailer and that kind of crap. And then when I do get it back, I want to have the guy come back over and go over everything. And if he hasn't welded everything that I want him to weld, I'm going to go ahead and have him welded. The solar guy doesn't have the idea in his head. He still thinks that this rack on the back is going to be a removable deal. It is somewhat, but the actual part that we put on the trailer, he's bolted, and he's got a lot more bolts he's going to put in with Teflon, deals and lockdowns and all sorts of crap. But I want him to weld the son of a gun too. So he just doesn't. I haven't had my wife there going, this is never going to come off. It's here forever. You're not going to need to take it off. And if you do, you're going to grind the welds because I'd rather have it bolted and welded. So just me. I'm a fanatic. Hey, Jake, greetings. Chat 5 days and a wake up. That's awesome. And in bank here for, and where are you going to stay, Jake? Are you going to the village or whatever, and then coming back to Pattaya for the 13th? Or are you going to hang around Pattaya for a couple of weeks, or is it longer than a couple of weeks? Yeah, you got to be going to the village. I'm imagining. What did I miss there? Yeah, I missed something on the phone. I have a house in, what was I just reading? George just said I have a house in type home, one in Kong Kin, so I don't get bored. that's good. That's awesome. We haven't been back to Ubon since the party. My wife was talking about that. We were both talking about it the other day. So maybe when the kids are here, maybe we'll go there for a long weekend. They definitely want to go camping, so I'm gonna take them. I'm gonna take them camping. Jake saying hi to everyone. Jake, countdown is on. I've made reservations for Sizzler. You got it. Hey, John, how you doing? If you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. Uh, he does a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of stuff I just watch and I can't. I try to comprehend. I still don't quite get the some of the stuff, but a lot of stuff on law enforcement. Are you still in law enforcement now, John, or are you retired from that? He comes from law enforcement anyway, but maybe still doing it. So they have a lot of interesting stuff that I find interesting anyway. You guys subscribe anyway. It doesn't cost anything. Uh, we're up in Pitts now. Let's see. Pitts, Dave, and traveling. There's some crazy man with power tools. Yeah, and see now, I didn't realize you were going to be here that early. So maybe I'll time if I can get the trailer out for at least a little trip so that I can tighten everything, weld everything, have everything in the trailer that I might head that way also. And then me, you, Craig, Ron, and everything we can get together would be awesome even before the 13th. In fact, I'm going to try to plan that. So I didn't realize you were going to be here that quickly in a week. So for sure, it'll be awesome. I need some of that salad bar. I like Sizzler, man. I got no. We did a lot of work for Maniac. The guy started out with Jack in the Boxes, and he owned like 15 or 20 Jack in the Boxes, and then he sold those. And at the time we were doing business with him, doing his refrigeration and air conditioning, his HVAC, he had I don't know 40 Sizzlers. In fact, he was big into racing. If you remember, he all the time over there because we were in the San Fernando Valley. Don the Snake Perdome would be there, but his guy was McEwen, and McEwen had a funny car back in the day. And if you ever remember, if you were into drag racing, if you remember McEwen pulling that funny car up to the lights and the camera right there, that fender right there had Sizzler written on it, and he sponsored him quite a bit. He was into racing, but in back in his younger days, he's a maniac. I mean, it was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and we had a lot of fun. Put it that way. I was only mid-20s, something like that. So it was party time. But we did a lot of extensive work in heat recovery. We heated up their water with their air conditioning, so that instead of getting 65-degree water from the street, they were getting 100-degree water from the street. So it was quite a bit of savings. We worked with the gas company to do a bunch of stuff. It was interesting. I like that kind of shit, stuff that makes me think my brain work. Yeah, I've binge watched it twice now, and I just got off binge watching for the second time. What is it? I'll remember. Hold on. The motorcycle biker movie, Sons of Anarchy. But yeah, I did it when my cousin passed away. I didn't know anything about Breaking Bad, and people said, "You haven't watched Breaking Bad." This was back in 2014, 15, something like that. And I took care of him during the day, and then watched Breaking Bad from night until morning, and then took care of him and tried to sleep every occasionally. I like to binge watch stuff. Yeah, if you haven't watched it, it's an awesome deal. Uh, 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 let's see. Hey, Scott. Hope you're well. Yeah, you haven't been around in a while. Maybe you're vacationing. Hope you're well, my friend. Um, Chips from the Suns. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, a couple of the guys like Rusty, the big guy with the long hair. He was actually at one time president of SFV, and a lot of the guys that um, some of the guys that were on there were affiliated with them. They did back. One of the guys, I don't know if he's still a member, but he was a member. I forget his name now. I'm horrible with some of that stuff. But I think they did a lot of, including um, Sonny too. A lot of helping them out with the realistic part of what they were doing or not realistic part. I don't think anybody wanted to put their name on a lot of the stuff that they were doing. Yeah, it was good. You know, I can remember watching Monday Night Football, and it had who was the old man. I forget his name. The the one that God, I'm horrible with names. Anyway, him and the one that played the main part in there. Both of them played the main part. Not Katie, but her husband or whatever. Uh, Doing live on a Monday Night Football or a Thursday Night Football, advertising for this new series that was going to be coming out. And I said, that ought to be interesting. I wonder how realistic it is or how much full of shit they are. There was a little bit of both, but I enjoyed it. It was entertaining, you know, like a lot of people might say about, you know, shows that depicting Italians as, you know, whatever. It's entertaining, you know, maybe not true to 100%, but definitely entertaining to watch. You just saw something. Yeah, you know, it's an awesome patch. You know, it would be a fun club to start. I don't know if that maybe somebody did. I don't know. Mm, nope, lost my I lost my feed on across the street. How many women are in the chat now? Probably just you. Jam was here. Meow was here. I don't know if they're still here. But usually there's two or three, I think. Some maybe some watching that are lurking. I don't know. We do have a few if I don't chase them off. 18 watching. Nikki. Yeah, yeah, no kidding. Thanks, Scott. Um, but that's good. I mean, 18 and 16. It was only 10 earlier, and I was late for the deal. But like I said, I'm watching this. The only thing I really want to miss, as long as I could keep my foot from getting too painful, which I can stretch it out underneath here, and then I get it raised up after I get done with this. We've been around for almost an hour, but yeah, you guys would like watching some of the stuff that I've seen on John's Poe on the Go on his channel. Interesting stuff. Some of the stuff, like I said, I don't. I it kind of goes that Scientology and stuff like that. I don't have a clue on how some of that works. But the stuff that they do on the police team, another gentleman with him, Chad, I believe his name is. It's a good thing. It's talking. You can intervene. Sometimes they get on their own subjects. But hey, Jay, how you doing? Hope that you are well. Was just thinking I'll be back in Thailand in 12-week countdown begins. Yeah, 12 weeks, and then you only got what, a couple more years. And you're going to be here full time. I got sucked into that, and I've been a huge audience. Yeah, I think so. But you guys aren't so much pro or con on that subject anyway. It's just kind of you're just talking about it, right? I think I don't know. I haven't watched it enough on the Scientology thing. Uh, I don't know that. There's Jake saying Scientology headquarters in Clearwater, Florida, 15 minutes. Really? Yeah, I don't know that much about it. A lot of actors and actresses do that, right? Like Tom Cruise and who else? John Travolta, I think. or am I thinking of something else? Somebody can enlighten me. Not really big. I don't know what it's about or nothing. Uh, don't really have that much interest pretty much in it, but the other stuff that I've seen on John's channel are really interesting. And this might be interesting to you too. Like I said, I don't think they take a stance on it, but working with a lot of survivors and helping to expose crime like trafficking. Uh, yeah, cool. Yeah. I think John's one of the good guys that you probably wouldn't hear me say that 20, 30 years ago. I wasn't big on law enforcement. I am more so now because I think I respect them more because, as far as I'm concerned, they could never pay me enough money to do what John did or any law enforcement person did. Walk around with a big giant, target on your back and get in the middle of crap that I wouldn't want to be involved in. And for the money that I some of them get, it's not worth it. Just not worth it. So I give them a lot of credit now in my older age, and respect, I guess, would be more of a deal for what they do, and they do. They get in. 99% of the people on the planet are going to call the police if something goes wrong in their life. I just was one of the other 1% that didn't call law enforcement. And like I said, my best friend was, you see him standing next to Judge Ito, and did all that with the marshals and then the sheriff's department for years and years and years. Very intelligent man, perfect man to be in law enforcement. Had a great sense of humor, has a great sense of humor, and and knew what he was doing as far as court security and any kind of a deal. He put that all together in L.A. And now I think he does seminars and stuff, other courthouses around the world on courtroom security and stuff. And his whole team, he'd have people, plainclothes people in the whatever the courtroom, um, and his officers and him and whatever, all of them, whether it was O.J. Simpson, any high profile, he was there. Lindsay Lohan, I can't remember. I used to talk to him more. I should probably talk to him more now. I haven't talked to him in a while. He's semi-retired. Okay, what else did I miss anything? My aunt's son lives in Indian Rocks Beach near Tampa. All right, let's see. That's what I thought my friend that lives there said. I missed it a little bit. I've been what did Ron say? I've been to that Hooters a couple of times. Well, there you go. Fun fact, Andrew. Hooters #2 on Hillborough Avenue in Tampa, Florida. Coach shucked oysters there as a teen. Wow. Hey, Daniel. Hope everything's well with you. Hey, Scott. Been a while. Yes. Roger that. Okay, I'm caught up. That wasn't too bad. We only lost 2 people as I semi rambled. Uh, oh, really? I didn't know that. I didn't even get a chance to go there. Not that it's not a big draw for me. Hooters wasn't, I don't know. I guess teach their own. It kind of seems, I don't want to say stupid to have something like that in Pattaya, but you could just walk up the street and see whatever you want, right? So, I mean, it isn't that big of a draw as it would like in the Bible Belt somewhere to have a Hooters sitting out on a corner. Um, so I would imagine it wouldn't get as big a draw here in Thailand, in Pattaya or Bangkok or wherever. But Joe's been to both. Joe's a Hooter man. Hooters. Let's see. I was in Treasure Island for Super Bowl, next door to Indian Rocks. Beautiful. Yeah, I actually watched it on this 65-inch. I went to Peacock, I think it was, and got it live. Um, I have my VPN on this, and it worked. Usually, when I try to do anything with that, it screws up, and I go, "Great, I had it on my phone too, so in case I figured if the 65-inch took a crap, I could still see it on my phone, and Didn't miss a beat the whole game. But as soon as they scored, maybe 3 minutes later, a couple of things, and boom, the live feed went away. They pulled it real quick. So none of the after whatever. Of course, I probably wouldn't have watched it anyway. Let's see. Indeed, nice part of Florida for sure. In fact, my aunt took me to the first Big Mac at McDonald's at Clearwater. A very little guy back in the day. I've never. God, I didn't spend much time in Florida. I've been to probably every state and driven through like the upper part of Florida by Georgia, that area up there, but never went like all the way down, and threatened a couple of times to go to Disney World or whatever it was. And actually, I scheduled a vacation because I wanted to go there with my cousin that passed away and his two kids and his new wife at the time. And I was the only one that backed out at the last minute, and they went there for 2 weeks. I wish I would have went. Still to this day, I want to go to. I want to go there. I'm just a big. Disneyland was everything to me as a kid, for sure. Not great, but family oriented. When I was little, we lived in St. Pete for a time. My mom wanted to be closer to her sister and my aunt. Road to Key West. Yeah, I would have liked to have. That's just one of the states I didn't. I don't know for some reason, man. I've been all over the states, but never made it down there. A lot of relatives and stuff in Georgia through my stepdad. But Jake planning a run to Clearwater to do some First Amendment auditing of Scientology. You have to go grab a coffee. All right, let's see. I was just thinking today on how very lucky I am that my parents moved me to Florida as a very young child. Yeah, I feel where I grew up, I couldn't have thought a better place, but maybe a lot of people think that, Jake. Me, the San Fernando Valley is where, if you watched American Graffiti, that was the San Fernando Valley. That's where they got the cruise night on Van Nuys Boulevard, and that was my stomping grounds. And I felt lucky. If I would have had my druthers, I think I would have been maybe 10 years older. I think I would have fit it more if I could have caught all of the 60s instead of maybe just the late 60s. But I did get the 70s, so that was all right. Music wasn't quite as good, but it was close. We had the best music, right, in the 60s and 70s. Then the 80s, they went off the hook somewhere with disco and all that crap. They lost me. But all right, gorgeous. Take it easy. Florida is one of those biker paradise states. I've had to trailer to Kentucky because of the snow and then ride down to Daytona for Bike Week. Yeah, I never got there. I'm buffering? Am I really? Let me check again. I have my speed test here. Let's see. No, I'm still cranking, but it could be. You never know. Grew up in Maine, the way life should be. Yeah, the one friend, I don't know if you guys heard me talking about my friend that had the air conditioning company, pretty much my best friend that passed away from drinking. But the one we got the '69 Corvette from, um, Jay. He was from Maine, and he had a lot of stories back in the day. Not seeing it from here, and yeah, I'm not seeing anything. And usually I get a little deal up in the corner that shows a weak signal thing. Hey Robert, how you doing? Glad you could make it. Appreciate it. But yeah, so I don't know. We'll do a let's see. I still don't see anybody there. I'm probably it's been a little over an hour. I'll still hang for a little while. Why not? Some people are still coming in. I was a swamp kid, wrangled snake, grabbed oranges off the trees, and never met an alligator. Yeah, that was with us, the San Fernando Valley, Simi Valley, where we had the bar, and which is now a booming metropolis. Okay, we used to just go over the hill there and drop in there, and That's where we shot our shotguns and hunted, and we did pretty much whatever we wanted back in the day. And then that all changed, became prime real estate. Um, hey, brother, how are you? Hope you're well. Haven't seen you in a while, Aaron. But yeah, I don't know, man. It was different back in the day, right? I don't know. I see the kids now, even my kids. My son, I'm glad I got him into go karting and stuff like that, so he didn't completely fall into this crap, where I had to take him for surgery because he has a thumb lock up or something. I don't know. Not that he didn't play the games, but it was good to get out and interact with your and the family, like we talked about before. Where I think they're ruining America by gas prices, and that was a big thing back then. Was camping, man. 3 weeks every year we were just, when we going to Bass Lake, you know that was what and my poor uncles, I mean, they worked their ass off for their 3 weeks vacation and loved going to Bass Lake, don't get me wrong, but that's all they had. And that's when I looked at them, I'm going, God, man, this is it. This is what I got to look forward to, being 40, 50, 60 years old, and just rooting on for 3 weeks a year and busted my ass. I mean, he probably looked at me and goes, boy, this kid's screwed up. All the other kids are going, I don't care as long as we're healthy. And me, I'm trying to go, I want to retire when I'm 50. I don't want to, I don't want to be doing this, into my 80s. Um, and they did. Both both of them did okay. My one uncle, who passed away way too early, got off into the restaurant. Both of them had Paisano's Pizza back in, the 60s. But the my one uncle stayed in that, got into real estate in Tahoe, and they did well. He did well. They made a couple of buys on property on Ventura Boulevard that they bought for $1 and sold it for 3 million. So they did okay on some stuff, but still, it was didn't compute in my mind. Something don't add up. I'm working every day, you know, or 5, 6 days a week, and I'm doing this for 60 years for 3 weeks, even 5 weeks if you take into what you as you go along type thing. It just didn't compute with me. Let's see. Everybody's saying hi to everybody. I didn't miss anything. Dave, got a meeting next Wednesday on. Very cool. Well, you'll be in my prayers, brother. I will hope for the best for you. Hopefully, everything goes awesomely. That would be great. Um, let's see. Lived in Florida for 12 years. Always a dream to summer in Maine and winter in Florida. My uncles, the one that are cousins, he was a bigwig, the vice president of joints for Johnson and Johnson for shoulders and knees and all that stuff. Him and my uncle invented a lot of super metals and had patents on them and stuff from Connecticut, New Haven, West Haven, and he was in Boston. And when he retired, or right before he retired, anyway, he got one on the Intercoastal. Is that what it's called? Where the nice houses and all that crap are. And then in Boston, and and he was at, what is it, Martha's am I going to say that right? Vineyard or whatever. He had a place there, and in the Intercoastal, and went back and forth for winter and summer. And he still does it to this day. He digs it. I don't get to see them enough, so that kind of sucks. I seen what? I seen a 47 knuckle. Is that the one for a million baht? Was it on? Was it in? Obviously, he said it's in Thailand. I only seen one, and it was an aftermarket knuckle, um, but it looked really good. I think it had suicide on it and everything. It was done well. But I think the guy wanted 1 million baht for it. I thought it was a little bit high for. I think it was an S&S motor and stuff, but it looked like it was built right. I'd be interested to find out about that for me, Joe. Let's see. Take care, John. John's leaving. All right, John. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I got pulled over by Bass Lake Rangers. Had to do a noise test on my flat bottom boat with the Wedge Stage 3 race motor. Actually had a Ranger ride, went back and forth. Yeah, they used to sit at the end. Remember, take it at right before the siren went off every night. I've been going to Bass Lake. That's where I lived for 20 years after the fact. Um, that's where my house was, right in North Fork, 2.5 miles from the lake. But all those years we went to Bass Lake, and a bunch of people did. And I think you could run dry stacks there too, right? At Bass Lake back in the day. Can't remember if you had to run wet stacks. But yeah. My cousin in Ducey's, Ducey's was the best place in the world to be until it burnt down, which was just a sad day, man. We got to party in there. The old Ducey's. New Ducey's is fancy and on the water and all that crap, but old Ducey's is where it was at. I had a lot of good drunken nights in there, stumbling down to the campground. Martha's Vineyard, that's it. And Intercoastal, perfect. Yeah, he digs it, man, and he deserves everything he got. He busted his ass his whole life and made money and is enjoying his life now. Was in Florida last January for a small trip to visit a friend in South Florida, right outside of Palm Beach. Yeah, I think that was Bass Lake was one of the only ones back in the day that would let you run dry stacks. I had a Hondo, but be right back. All right, Jake. Just had a good friend die. Wow, in Florida, 55, went down, built his house off season, had a massive heart attack 5 days ago. R.I.P. Ron. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. 55 is way too freaking young, man. Way too young. And today, the way today is now, way too young. 750 bought in Bangkok. Really? I don't know if you know how to send me something, but if you can send me something that has a link, try to send it to me. I'd love to have a knuckle. My wife would shit a golden brick. But yeah, I'd love to have a knuckle. Yeah. By saying condolences, as always, it's one thing to like my mom at 90 years old or somebody at 95 and 98, 89, around that 90 mark. I figure, man, if I could go that long, not a bad life. No one wants to die. No one wants to see somebody die. No one wants to lose anybody. But when you're dying, like my wife did at 59 and 55, my buddy George, I think he was 56, um, just crazy young, as far as I'm concerned. Crazy young. Mm, Everybody's saying condolences. Yeah, I don't know. Just seems like it. It's hard to say that, even with my mom. I mean, I would wish she could have hung out forever, but and even with my wife, I thought about it at 59 when she passed after I kind of got my brains back, a couple of years later. Um, it's, I look at some of these kids that are 10 years old, and with it and not going to be here in a year, and go, man, I guess maybe 59 isn't that young, but it is to me. 55 is ridiculously young. Um, like I said, I don't know, man. I don't know what my doctor says I could go as long as I want. It's up to me how I take care of myself. But the way I'm going, if I could make it to 80, I'd probably impress myself a little bit. That'd be what, 13 years. I'd impress myself a little bit. And I know I saw Logan and then put up a little deal. I got the death thing in case you're watching. The last one they did, they were making tostadas, and it did, yeah, get me jonesing for a tostada. Although I'm out of beans now, so I gotta buy some more pinto beans and have them sent to me. They're cheap, buying them that way, and then I don't have all that salt, man. And they put in any kind of canned goods is just horrible. Okay, is that it? Can I do that on? I have to do that on my phone, don't I, Joe? Excuse me as I go look for a motorcycle. Hopefully, my wife's not watching. Are you watching, dear? No, she's working. She can't be watching. Okay, so I need to go to YouTube, go to my channel. Here it is. Look for Joe's Deal. Go to this one. Let's see. 47. Not going. Listed over a week ago. Let me push send just so I don't lose it. And yeah, that's pretty nice. Wow. Looks original, doesn't it? It's not a suicide, though. Is it? No. Which probably wouldn't be a great thing to have here in Thailand anyway. Uh, a suicide would be kind of hard. Oh, look at that rigid frame. Makes my mouth water. Doesn't make my body water. My kidneys are hurting right now just thinking about a rigid frame. Wow. Huh. Very cool. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. I sent him a message, I think. Let me go back to YouTube. There we go. Okay. Thank you. We lose anybody? 5 people. Anyone that wants to be friends on Facebook, I'm Rob. Just ask to be a friend. There you go. I would love to make my I mean, if I bought something like that, it wouldn't probably be something I rode once a week, maybe at the most. Maybe I'd take it once a month to Buriram to McDonald's to have a hamburger and back. Who knows? Of course, now I'm jonesing for a hamburger. Let's see, Rob. Many people around me died too. Yeah, every time I hear gunshots going off here, my wife informs me, "Oh, somebody died." I didn't realize that until recently that that's what happened. Extra kidney belt. Yeah, I probably if I buy something like that, hopefully the guy who has it has one that comes along with it. 750. What would that be? Who's got the? What's he? You guys noticed that the exchange rate went up to 36.19 or something. Let me give you my update on that. Gold is 34,250. Yeah, 36.125. And you probably get a better rate than that because I think every time I bring that up, somebody else comes up and um, with a better rate from somebody else. This is just a app that my wife gave me. But what would that be? So 36. The guy probably going to 750,000 divided by 36. 20 grand. It's actually not too bad, right? It must not be real. Because I bet you that thing would be 20, 25 in the, no, 30, 40 in the States. Somebody enlighten me. Too much? No. 20 grand. 20 grand just doesn't sound like it's way out there in left field. Like I said, knuckleheads in the States, um, it can't be, it just can't be original. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, 28. I got what? 20, yeah, 20,833 is what I came up with. 36. Not bad. It does look real to me too, Joe. But it's amazing what they could do nowadays. But it's probably not. I mean, it's everything. Even if it is real, it's probably nothing matches. Probably. I imagine if something matches like that, I'm going to say 40, 45, 50,000 in the States. So, and I don't even know. It might. I should have written him and ask if they had a. Thank you. Ask if they had a. Um, they had a book on it. Thank you, Mom. Here, I'll pour this. I'll put a cup. Probably doesn't have a book. How much you want to bet? Did it have a license plate on it, Joe? Let me look again. Did I lose it already, or is it still here? There it is. Let's see. Oh, if they did, they're not showing it. No, there's no license plate on there. There's some kind of a deck. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna ask him right now. And oh, I lost it. Damn it! I'll have to go back now and find. Ah, all right. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. Go back to the chat. Go back to Joe's marketplace. Sorry, guys. Matching. Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I don't know. I haven't followed anything in a while. Oh, he said yes. Let me see if he already answered me. I don't know if that's good or bad. How come it won't? Let's see. Huh. It won't let me. Hmm. See conversation. Ah, there we go. Do you have Green Book? Let's see what I'll leave it on there for a minute. I got my piece of chicken. I'm gonna have to let you guys see it. Chicken breast cooked in the air fryer. Some sticky rice. Probably isn't good for me. Let's see if he answers. Let me drink this. Hey Yads, how you doing? 10-year anniversary. Congratulations. It has an SNS. Oh, it does? I didn't read anything on it. So it's aftermarket. But that's okay. I like the look, you know. So it doesn't have to be in at 20,000. Like I said, it's not like he's asking an over amount of money for something that he doesn't have. But I'd almost guarantee if he does see this, it doesn't have a book. I'm guessing. Like walking. Be cheaper to walk. You offer him 550. Yeah, see, I wish I knew what a lot of these. Oh well, I've got all the documentation, but I think by them saying they have all the import and all that kind of stuff, then you got to pay all the, what Thailand wants, another million in in taxes. So I don't know. Good to see you. I got to get. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? Everybody's saying hello. I'll check. Uh, saying. 10 years. Wow. Because I think I've been married for 4.5 years now. It's amazing. Forget the book, live a little. Yeah, my wife is the well, because I told her, I said, really, for me, if I have a million baht, I'd rather have a bike that I could ride occasionally, and then you can just sell it when I croak. It's not like the bank's giving me 20% interest, to have the money in it. So, but she doesn't want, she doesn't want to be hassled with that. She wouldn't bitch her. She'd bitch a little bit if I bought one, but it wouldn't. It'd be 10 seconds and then it'd be over with. But trying to see if this really interested if this guy see if he answers me. Let me move this. Let me have a sip of. That's pretty good. All right, I guess I'm going to get off of that because I want to go and see if my guy is here yet for the trailer. The patient one. I know mine is. Earlier scrolled up saying hi to Scott. I only met you briefly and agree. uh, uh, need a fin pipe. Yeah, it probably does. Let's see. Is he there? No. Which means, what time is it now? 10:30. I need to send my wife a message. Um, thanks for bearing with me, guys. Mm-mm-mm-mm. All right. Let me see. I still hadn't answered. 14 of you guys are sticking it out. You guys are awesome. Yeah, I could almost guarantee like I had said, hey, Joe, thank you very much. Um, most of the stuff that I found out on all the bikes that I looked at a bunch of dressers, whether they're road glides or, any kind of bagger, street glides. If they newer stuff, 10, 12, something like that, above 08 when they got the 6 speeds and all that. Um, if they were in the 500s, they didn't have a book. If they were up in the 700s or real high sixes, they normally had a book. But this one here, it's kind of hard to try to figure whether he did or not. But I'm going to guess that he doesn't have one. But maybe he'll answer, maybe not. It's been an hour and a half. I think I'm going to get off and yeah, I'm happy with this 750. I haven't got out and ridden it as much as I want because I don't want to pull the plug out. I want him to do it. So I don't know exactly how lean it's running, and I don't want to hurt the motor. I don't think it. I think it's okay. The what I'm calling a lean pop, an after fire, whatever you want to call it. Backfire is usually through the carburetor. So, and I don't think I don't hear anything through the carburetor. So it should be, um, it's probably okay, but I didn't push it. I figured I'd ride it a little bit and I've ridden it a little bit and then take it back to him and have him pull. And I want to take a look at it. I want to see inside that plug and then I'll suggest and see where he's at on that. See if he can open that more or is it at its limits? And if so, order the jet kit for it and let's change it out. Yeah, no kidding, right? What a great family the ones that I met that she has also. If you guys, I'm sure, haven't had the pleasure of meeting her family, I have part of her family anyway, and a bunch of good people. That's who we went fishing with, in case you were wondering. Oh, is that Nikki? I see. Just dropping in. Buddy had to poop. Oh, or pee. That's silly o'clock. Yeah. Mm, bye. Take care. Be safe. Be happy. Yeah, and it's really weird, man. These things, um, they're twin carbs, and they're twisted like this with two, and they're separate, one to each cylinder, and they made them both ways because this is a 92, and this one doesn't have a drive shaft; it has a chain, and I like it, but the carburetors are nothing like I've ever uh, screwed with. Now I imagine I could probably put an aftermarket single carburetor on it, but they made the 750 and the 400s and the 600s and everything. Some of them with a single carburetor, but from what I understand, when these are dialed in, they're pretty good as far as what they put out. Um, running wise. But yeah, it's twin carbs and it's up under the tank, up under the tank, sitting above, and then an intake to each cylinder. It's weird. Have a great morning afternoon. Are you taking off, Jay? Take it easy. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I think I'll eat my chicken breast. I'll see what's happening with this. It's been yeah, 3:30 a.m. for Nikki. Crazy. Um, and yeah, and end this live stream. You guys are awesome. I'm gonna go over here and tell you that both my intro and my outro was done by Richard of Richard Travels. In case you didn't know that, if you hang around to the end of my videos, I think you've figured that out by now. But anyway, you guys are great. I'm gonna yeah, I think I'm gonna end it. So everybody, you have a great morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are. And I'll look up in here and say I will catch you on the next one.